cows who are lean. وَسَبْعِ سُنبُلَاتٍ, and about 7 ears of corn, khudrin, which are green. وَأُخَرَى يَابِسَاتٍ, another 7 which are dry. لَعَلِّي أَرْجِعُ إِلَى النَّاسِ, so that I may return to the people. لَعَلَّهُمْ يَعْلَمُونَ, so that they can know what is the meaning and interpretation of this dream of the king. قَالَ تَزْرَعُونَ سَبْعَ سِنِينَ دَابًا. He said, Hazrat Yusuf ﷺ said, you will have normal harvest, usual harvest for 7 years. فَمَا حَسَّبْتُمْ فَذَرُوهُ فِي سُنبُلِهِ. So whatever you reap, you keep it in the ears. Don't take them out. Don't take the corns out. This was the way to preserve it, إِلَّا قَلِيلًا مِمَّا تَأْكُلُونَ, except the little that you eat. Whatever you require, the daily rations, you take out from the ears, but the rest of it, let it be as it is. ثُمَّ يَأْتِي مِنْ بَعْدِ ذَلِكَ صَبْرٌ شِدَادٌ. Then after that, 7 years will week of very hardship. يَأْكُلْنَ مَا قَدَّمْتُمْ لَهُنَّ. Those 7 years will eat up what you had stored for them. You will be storing for 7 years. The excess crop will be stored. Keep on storing them. And now when there will be drought for 7 years, you will eat up the stored grains. Now, إِلَّا قَلِيلًا مِمَّا تُوسَدُونَ, except a little amount of it which you will have to preserve for the next crop, as to use it as seeds for the next crop. ثُمَّ يَأْتِي مِن بَعْدِ ذَلِكَ. Then again, after those 7 years, the year will come, فِيهِ يُغَاثُ النَّاسِ, in which the people will have rains. وَفِيهِ يَعْصِرُونَ, and in that year they will be pressing wine. There will be crop and there will be greenery and everything will be okay, and you will be pressing wine. وَقَالْ, now he came to the court, he told the interpretation of the vision to the king. وَقَالَ الْمَلِكُ أُتُونِي بِهِ. Now he said, bring that person to me. He seems to be very wise. فَلَمَّا جَاءَهُ الرَّسُولُ, but when, the messenger from the king came to Yusuf, قَالَ إِرْجِعْ إِلَىٰ رَبِّكَ. He said, go back to your king, to your master, to your lord. فَاسْأَلْهُ, and ask him, مَا بَالُ النِّسْوَةِ اللَّاتِي قَطَّعْنَ أَيْدِيَهُنَّ. What about the women who cut their hands? I was blamed for that. I was imprisoned for that, without the charge being proved against me. But at least that was said, to be the case. So unless I am, absolved, and I am honorably acquitted of that charge, I am not ready to get out of this prison. Inna Rabbi bikaydihinna alim. Verily, my Lord knows about their machinations, whatever they did. I didn't do anything wrong. Qala ma khatbukun. Now the king gathered all of them, and he asked them, Ma khatbukunna iz rawatunna Yusuf an nafsihi. What was the matter with you when you solicited and you wanted to and tried to seduce Yusuf? قُلْنَا حَاشَا لِلَّهِ. They said, by Allah, be blameless. مَا عَلِمْنَا عَلَيْهِ مِنْ سُوءٍ. We don't know, we have no knowledge of anything evil about him. قَالَتْ إِمْرَأَةُ الْعَزِيزِ. And now, the wife of that chief minister or the chief executive officer, he spoke out. الْآنَ حَسْحَسَ الْحَقِّ. Now that the truth has come out, أَنَا رَاوَدتُّهُ عَنْ نَفْسِي. I confess that I was trying to seduce him. وَإِنَّهُ لَمِنَ الصَّادِقِينَ. And he is absolutely, he is true, he was not a sinner. ذَلِكَ لِيَعْلَمَ أَنِّي لَمْ أَخُنْهُ بِالْغَيْبِ. Now about these 2 ayat, following 2 ayat, there's very difference of opinion as to who said these words. The continuity of this, text, that demands that these are also the sayings of the same woman. But people usually think that these, things, these words appear to be coming from a very knowledgeable and a person who believes in Allah and everything, And that woman was not of that character or that level or that stature. And these words, they are befitting only for Yusuf, alayhi salatu wasalam. So one way of interpretation is that Hazrat Yusuf said that I didn't want to expose these women, but I did want that, I should be honorably acquitted. ذَلِكَ لِيَعْلَمَ أَنِّي لَمْ أَخُنُ بِالْغَيْبِ, so that he knows, he should come to know, who? The Al-Aziz, the husband of that woman should come to know that I didn't betrayed him and betrayed his trust in his absence. وَأَنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يَهْدِي الْكَيْدَ الْخَائِنِينَ, and I very well know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not going to make the guile of the betrayers successful. وَمَا أُبَرِّئُ نَفْسِي, at the same time, I don't declare my soul to be sinless and that it is all free from anything low. إِنَّ النَّفْسَ لَأَمَّارَةٌ بِالسُّوءِ, verily, the animal self in man commands him to something evil. Inna nafsa la'ammaratun bisu. From here, we derive the word nafs ammara. And that is not the self, the higher self. We have two selves within us, the spiritual self and the animal self. The animal soul and the divine spirit. These are two different things. We have a composite existence. So now the baser self, as we call it, or in Freudian terminology, the id or libido, well, all these lusts and desires, sensual gratification, they emerge from that baser self. So I don't absolve myself, because the baser self in every human being urges him for something evil. Illa man rahima rabbi, except the one whom the Lord has, shown mercy. Inna rabbi ghafurur rahim, verily my Lord is forgiving and merciful. Now these words, they are befitting to Hazrat Yusuf alayhi salatu wassalam. But some of the exegetes, because, the continuity of the text that demands that these words are of wife of Al-Aziz. Maybe that during these 10 years, she might have been transformed. And she might have, reformed herself. And this seems to be, most of the people believe in it, that although she had all the evil designs before that, but now 10 years had passed. And during this period might be that she had, she had made tawbah, repented, reformed her, and she had become attained such level of knowledge. Maybe, we can't say. وَقَالَ الْمَلِكُ أُوتُونِي. Now this is to what I was referring by the context. Now the proceedings of the court are going on. And Hazrat Yusuf has not as yet come to the court according to this sequence of these ayat. وَقَالَ الْمَلِكُ أُوتُونِي بِهِ. Now when all this thing was cleared, in the absence of Hazrat Yusuf alayhi salam in the court of the king, he said, oh, bring him to me. أَسْتَخْلِصْهُ لِنَفْسِي. I will reserve him for myself. Such a noble man, such a person, such a man of such a high character, I will keep him with